Hi guys, okay here. I want to take a minute to say thank you for coming to my video here. I'm going to start trying to actually do these more than once a year. So today's topic for this video is just because I work from home. So I've been working from home for about 13 years. So I haven't worked outside the home since I was 18 years old. I've always worked from home, raising kids and, going to college and then doing all that stuff. And so I have heard, I have literally heard, well, you work from home. So many times I could be a rich woman at this point, just, from hearing that. So I wanted to talk about breaking that misconception that just because I work from home, I'm not really doing anything, or I'm lazy, or I have all the time in the world, when that is actually so far from the truth. It's absolutely ridiculous that anybody comes to me and says that. And I won't even tolerate listening to anybody come to me and say that. I want the people who do not work from home to acknowledge and kind of just have a little bit more respect for those people who do work from home. My husband works outside of the house. He actually works away from home 4 days a week. So he doesn't even come home for 4 days. And then he's home for 3 days on the weekend. And so we have these drastically different lives. And when I say I work from home, I don't just mean I work jobs. I have two jobs. And I work anywhere from 40 to 60 hours a week, depending on what kind of week it is. But I also raise three children, and I run the household, and I cook and I clean. So when I say work from home, I encompass all of that. And here's what my day looks like. I got up at about 5:30, and the kids got to go to school. So, we kind of do the breakfast and the brushing the teeth and the getting dressed, and so forgot this. And oh, I can't find this. So we probably struggle for a good 30 minutes in the morning. We've gotten that narrowed down. It used to be a lot longer than that. And then all three of them get on the bus. While they're waiting for the bus, I've already started my timers. I've already started my jobs. And that's when I begin to start and work with the teams. And then, of course, I take break for lunch. And that's when I eat my lunch and I call, the exterminator or, the car company, and I make a car payment, or I go online and I make the phone payment. So all of that is happening all on my lunch break. And then, again, I take a couple hours for lunch, though. I don't just sit and take 30 minutes and try and do all that all at the same time. In between that, I'll run to the library. I've got to drop off books, or I've got to pick up stuff for dinner. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. So many of you who have children know what you have to do to manage your household and do all of that stuff. So, you add that in there. And then I come back and I work again. And I work for another good chunk, and then it's dinner time. And while I'm working my second chunk, the kids are now coming home. So I've got to stop my timer, and I've got to answer questions. I've got to help with homework, and then I restart my timer. And so I'm bouncing back and forth in between that. And then, it's time to cook dinner, and then it's, time to get settled down for bed. And then it's, 9 o'clock at night, and I'm finishing up my work day into probably 10 or 11, and then it's now time for me to go to bed to start all over. And so nowhere in that span of time do I have time to stop what I'm doing and bring, a friend lunch, or, babysit somebody else's kid. And, I have people who are like, well, you work from home. You can just do whatever you want. No, I can't. I have structure. People who work from home who just do whatever they want don't actually work. They don't actually work from home, and they don't actually work. So I want those of you who have spouses or siblings or anybody, close to you that works from home, I want you to stop and think before the next time you say, well, why can't you help me because you work from home, or you work from home so you have all the time in the world. I want you to stop and think, do they really? Do they really have all this time? Because I would love to find that time. If you can find me that time, I would be the happiest woman on earth. But unfortunately, working from home and working in an office, there's not that big of a difference in terms of how busy you are. Or, well, That's not actually true because I know plenty of people who work 8 hours doing nothing but staring at a computer screen. They don't actually work. And they've openly admitted it. And it's not every day that they do that. But, when you work from home, you're paid for how much you work. You're not paid for a set 8 hours of just sitting there and, checking Facebook or doing any of that. So there is kind of a difference in working from home versus working in an office. But I want those of you who work outside in an office to acknowledge and have a little bit more respect for those of us who not only work from home because for a job, but also everything else that we do. We run the house, we take care of the kids, we're doing all this stuff while you are at your 8 hour work day. um and just think about that the next time you want to say, oh, well, I need your help. And since you're not doing anything, actually, we are. We're being very productive and pushing even harder because we do have to work a little bit harder for our money because we don't get paid a set 8 hours. And that's my rant for the day. I had somebody say something to me this morning about working from home, and it kind of just got a little bit under my skin, but I let it go. But I want the world and everybody out there to know that just because we work from home does not mean that we have ample amount of time to do whatever the crap we want. And that, we are just as determined and just as important as those of you who work in an office. Thank you.